Onderscheiden, beta. That's right, we're going Dutch, double Dutch, Eredivisie, let's go. Right, folks, back once again with another prediction show. Today we have gone to the Netherlands. That's right, to take a little look at the Eredivisie Matchday 1, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash the old subscribe button, keep you bang up to date with all things Eredivisie related, Blackburn Rovers related, world football related. We've got it all here. Under one Ruski, that's right, of course. Eredivisie is a little bit unfamiliar for most of us, including this guy. But I've driven through the flipping country 1,000 bazillion times on the way from UK to Germany. And I know a little bit about Dutch football. We've seen some of the great Dutch players who've come from Eredivisie to grace the promised land over in the Premier League. And we've also seen some legends return back to their home country, of course. Speaking of Iron Robin, for instance. And there's even rumours of Matey Boy, what's his name? What's his chops returning to potentially pulling the Schneider, possibly going to Utrecht. Goodness gracious me. But anyway, enough about that. We'll talk more about that in a minute. If you are new to the channel, be sure to give the video some love. And of course, smash the old subscribe button. We're going to have week by week extensive coverage of the Eredivisie. And of course, I want a big shout out to the patrons for supporting the channel. Thank you very much. Thank you. So let's talk about it then. Let's jump in the deep end and take a look at the grand scheme of things, that is the Eredivisie. That's right, of the old Dutchlands there, shall we? Now, these are the clubs that take up residence in the top flight over in Holland. And it's Utrecht, AZ Alkmaar, Heerenveen, Willem II. I am listening. You know who I am. PEC Zwolle, Feyenoord, FC Twente. They are my boys. That's the ones who I'm going to be rooting for this season. Fortuna Sittard, FC Emmen, VVV-Venlo. Also kind of like those as well, but I don't think they have a chance to be up there. Heracles Almelo. Cool name. ADO Den Haag. Sparta Rotterdam. Another cool name there. Sparta Rotterdam. AFC Ajax. Of course, Ajax to you and me. FC Groningen, PSV Eindhoven, RKC Waalwijk, and Vietnamese Arnhem at the bottom there. So those are your 18 teams. It's just a smallish division when you're familiar with the English, the league structure in England. 3 of the top 4 divisions are 24 club teams. So this is a much reduced side to that. So yes, before we jump in the deep end, I'll let you know that we are going to be having a crack of the whip with your prediction league for the Eredivisie. And what that means is you're going to come by week and put your own predictions in your comment section down below. And then, of course, I'll do the mathematics and I'll come up with the leaderboard at the end of each and every episode. And you will see just how good a predictor you are when compared to all the other double Dutchies out there, including this guy. I'm going to be in the rankings as well. So be sure to bang the subscribe so you don't miss a beat. And, of course, hit the little bell so you never miss an episode. Because if you do, you're going to fall down the pecking order. Oh, yes. It's not a sprint and it's definitely a marathon, boys. It's definitely a marathon. So take your time. So we're going to kick it all off with FC Utrecht taking on AZ Alkmaar. Now, these two clubs have played each other 89 times. 32 victories for Utrecht, 42 victories for AZ Alkmaar, and 15 draws. Now, heading into this, of course, AZ Alkmaar were abruptly halted in their quest for the title. Ultimately, I believe the season was abolished. Nobody came out on top. In my initial Eredivisie predictions, I was slamming Ajax because they were given the title, but I was wrong, misquoted. Anyway, AZ Alkmaar have actually kept a clean sheet in the last 3 matches in the Eredivisie, and they've also won 5 of the last 6 matches as well. Heading into this, I haven't got much stats on this one, and to be honest with you, I don't have much odds. What I can tell you in regards to this, AZ Alkmaar actually third favourites, joint third favourites alongside Feyenoord for the title. Meanwhile, FC Utrecht around about, they're not a bad looking side, top 6, something like that, 50-1 long shots for the title as well. Let's take a look at some transfer activity for these bad boys. AZ Alkmaar bringing in Hobie Vanthurst from Go Ahead Eagles and Unikane Sugawara from Grampus 8 on loan. He was on loan. I think he's been signed on the dotted line. Jesper Schlengelar, oh my goodness, has gone off to Telstar on loan. Ronnie de Boer as well has gone out on loan as well, and a couple of other players as well. Meanwhile, FC Utrecht, what have they been up to? Let's have a quick close look at their transfer activity. They brought in the likes of Daniel Azani from Manchester City. He was on loan at Celtic last time around. Eljo Eliera from Başakşehir out in Turkey. Danjo Warmerdin from Groningen as well. They've also lost the likes of Rico Strider's gone to the PEC Zwolle. Christopher Pettersson's gone to Swansea. Gone back to Swansea. Ulmerson has been released, amongst others. So, yeah, this one, of course, I'm going with AZ Alkmaar are your juggernauts in this regard. And it's a tough one. It's a tough one for them to open up the campaign. But I do believe AZ Alkmaar will open up their account away from home with no fans in the stadium, I believe, with a 2-0 win to give themselves a big old boost. Next up, we'll have SC Heerenveen. They're going to be taking on Willem II this time around. Opening day stuff. They played each other 53 times, 21 victories for Heerenveen, 17 victories for Willem, and 15 draws. Now, these two sides did play each other in the last 6 occasions. These 4 wins for Heerenveen, 2 wins for Willem. And there's been a draw in probably the Dutch Cup around about January. 2-2 draw, final score. Actually ended up going in favour of Heerenveen, possibly on penalties. Hitchin Fadik with a big fat penalty to give Heerenveen one of the goals, and Dries Sajidiki with a big fat OG was Heerenveen's second goal. Van Gillis, Pavardis and Daniel Duncangaloo getting the goals for Wilhelm. Heading into this, the last time they played each other in the league, though, was a 2-1 win for Wilhelm over Heerenveen, in Heerenveen as well. The goal scorers on that day, Bavudis again and Tresador as well. Rodney Congolo on the score sheet for Heerenveen. They have some quality names out in the Dutchlands. I do apologise for butchering them. Heerenveen have actually conceded at least 2 goals in 7 of the last 8 matches in the division, and also Wilhelm Zwaai or Wilhelm II have actually lost their last 3 away matches in the Eredivisie. Now, how about signings for these guys? What's been going on? Wilhelm bringing in the likes of Robbie Rutter from PSV, Leroy Owusu as well from De Graafschap, and also bringing in Derek Kuhn from the Bayern B team. Meanwhile, have lost the likes of Timo Wellerunt has gone to Anderlecht. Michael Wood has gone back to Almere, has gone to Almere City on loan. Other signings such as Daniel Dunkalalu has gone to Groningen. Meanwhile, what about SC Heerenveen? What have you been up to in the old transfer window? Of course, season kicks off just around the corner. Elwin Munda's come in from Swansea City. Jonkim Fernandez as well from River Plate. Big signing there. Potentially could be a gem unearthed. Emic Fredriksson has gone to back to Denmark. On loan, and Hitchin Falk has gone off to the Saudi Arabia, Middle East to make some money out there. A bunch of others as well. I do like the looks of Wilhelm, but I think Heerenveen will open up the account with a 2-1 win to give themselves a nice start to the season. Next up we have PEC Zwolle taking on Feyenoord. Crunch clash this one. PEC Feyenoord, PEC Zwolle will need to get themselves up and running with a tremendous start against these bad boys. They played each other 42 times, just 7 victories for PEC Zwolle, 26 for Feyenoord, and 9 draws. The last 6 sees 1 win for PEC Zwolle, 4 wins for Feyenoord, and 1 draw. They did play each other earlier in the calendar year, back in February, 16th of Feb. 7-goal barnstormer going in favour of Feyenoord. Leroy Fur on the score sheet, Steven Berjouch on the score sheet with a couple of goals, and Robert Bozornic as well. Zwolle's goals coming from Lennart Thigh with a couple of goals, and Mike Van Dunen as well. Heading into this final, they've actually won 8 of the last 9 matches in the division. They've also scored at least 2 goals in 8 of the last 9 matches as well. They ended the campaign. We don't know what they ended the campaign. The bookmakers, I don't have any odds really for the matches, but PSV Eindhoven are second favourites for the title, 5-2, whereas PEC Zwolle are... Where are you, PCs? We are mid-table, 301 long shots for the title, but I doubt they're not going to be in the discussion. PSV signings, just bringing in young Vermungo from Leipzig, goalkeeper on loan. They've lost Daniel Schwab, has been released. Konstis Mitologaru, the striker, formerly Fulham, has gone back to Marseille, I believe. Who else have they got? Ricardo Rodriguez has gone back to Milan as well. Decent signings last season, meanwhile, PEC Zwolle, what have you done in the transfer market? You brought in Jesper Drust from Almelo, and Rico Strijdler from Utrecht. You've lost the likes of Rick Drecker to Grabschaft, Zlan Vlemming, Dennis Johnson's gone to the to Young Ajax. Yeah, nothing really exciting transfer-wise for those guys. Going to go with Feyenoord. Of course you are. Of course I piss in half. They are the juggernauts. I do expect them to open up the count with a win. Next up, my boys, FC Twente taking on Fortuna Sittard. Now, these two sides have played each other 41 times, 21 victories for Twente, 10 wins for Fortuna Sittard, and 10 draws. The last 6, though, I haven't got the knowledge. I've not got the knowledge. Why have we not got the knowledge? We don't know. We don't know what's happened. Anyway, let's talk about these two clubs separately. Fortuna Sittard have actually failed to win 13 of the last, their last 13 away matches in the division, whereas Twente have also lost their last 3. Twente have also scored at least 2 goals in their last 3 home matches. So they, it's going to be in their favour. I'm pretty sure. The bookmakers go with Twente. Probably. They're actually low brow. Actually, quite more favoured for the drop. They are joint second favourites, I would say, for relegation, alongside Venlo, Den Haag, and all the kind of Sparta Rotterdam and all that kind of jazz. Meanwhile, Fortuna Sittard is also in that bunch as well. What about transfers for these guys? guys. What have they been doing transfer-wise? We're going to start with FC Twente. What have they been doing? We'll have a look. They brought in the likes of Danilo from the young Ajax, the B team there. They've also brought in Kiki Pere from Ajax, the actual first team. Alexander Jemerjev from Dynamo Dresden's come in. Vladimir Sidor's come in from Utrecht. A lot of loans going on there. Meanwhile, they've lost a whole bunch of players. Haris Vukacic has gone to Zaragoza. Pete Briginin gone to Den Haag. All these guys unfamiliar to me with these boys. Next up, Fortuna Sittard. What have you been doing? Roel Jansen's brought in from VVV-Venlo. They brought in a keeper, Yannick van Oosch from PSV. They brought in Emil Hansen from Hannover 69. A couple of English folks as well from youngsters. George Cox is coming from Brighton. Vernon Parks is coming from West Ham. Zion Fleming is coming from PEC Zwolle. They've also lost a whole bunch of players. Felix Pasalek's gone back to Dortmund. A lot of other players. A whole bunch of them on this one. So I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for Twente. I believe in the Twente, and I think they're going to open up their count with a win and get themselves up and running. Next up we have FC Emmen. They're going to be taking on VVV-Venlo on the opening day. Now, these two sides have played each other 36 times, 14 victories for Emmen, 15 victories for VVV-Venlo, and 7 draws. The last 6 sees 2 wins for Emmen, 2 wins for Venlo, and 2 draws. The last time they played each other, it was in Emmen. It was a 3-0 win. Back in March, before the end of the season, Nicolai Lorentzen with a couple of goals, Marco Colon as well. Emmen have actually won 8 of the last 9 matches in the Eredivisie. They've also scored at least 2 goals in 8 of the last 10 matches as well. So they're in pretty good form, Emmen. Transfer-wise, what they've done, they brought in Simon Tibbling from Broadon B, Bernard Sabini from Mönchengladbach's second team, Sudoku Sidibe as well from the young PSV team. They also brought in Kenneth Carvelan from Austria Vienna, and also a player from the PSG B team. As for VVV Venlo, what have they been up to? They've been bringing in the likes of Adin Swinkels from Mechelen out in Belgium, Rory Gelmy from Switzerland in Thun, Lucas Schmitz from Wolfsberger in Austria as well, and a couple of other players as well. They've lost the likes of John Yabo has gone back to Wolfsburg. A lot of the guys returning. Nies Rosler's gone to Sandhausen out in the Zweite Bundesliga. And Lee Cattermole has packed it in. Has retired. He's given it all away. Bookies on this one. Well, they're not really much on this one. FC Emmen. One of the favourites to go down, 501. VVV Venlo are also in that cluster as well. So 2 teams around about the same sort of standards here. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. But Emmen's recent record does make me rethink that a little bit, and potentially it might even go in favour of Emmen on this one. Heracles Almelo, they're going to take on ADO Den Haag, of course. Matey Boy is no longer there managing, but new guy in charge. The record between these two sides, ADO Den Haag, is 51 games, 17 victories apiece. 17 for Heracles Almelo, 17 for Den Haag, and 17 draws. The last 6 is also very, very similar. 2 wins for Heracles, 2 wins for Den Haag, and 2 draws. Heracles actually won 8 of the last 10 matches at home, whereas Den Haag have actually conceded at least 3 goals in 5 of the last 6 matches. Pardew, that's right. Anyway, the last time these two sides played each other was in Den Haag. It was a 0-0 draw back in February 2020. Meanwhile, the last time played with Heracles as the host, it was a 4-0 win back in November 2019. Cyril Dressers with a couple of goals, Mario Junior and Alexander Merkel as well. Heracles Almo, where are they? They're around about mid-table, 301 long shots for the title. Den Haag are expected to struggle, also 501 long shots. How about transfer-wise? Well, have they been busy? Den Haag have been bringing in the likes of Kiers de Boer from Swansea's under-23 squad, Emilio Estevez, not the actor, a guy from Canada, and also Bori Kemper from the junior team of Ajax, Andrea Rututuju from Villarreal as well, a whole bunch of other young, hungry kind of players. Meanwhile, Mark Duffy's gone back to Sheffield United as well. Meanwhile, what about Heracles Alma? What have they been busy doing? Heracles Alma, where are you? You've been bringing the likes of Marco Rente from the Dortmund Zwei team, Rayo Villette from ex-Chelsea, Luca de la Torre from Fulham has come in, the American, and they've also got rid of a whole bunch of players as well. Mario Junior's gone back to PSV. Dario Van Bush has gone to Beerschot. Going to go with a 2-1 win on for Heracles Almo. Opening day victory for them. I'm sure they'll be happy with that. Put the points in the bag and move on. Next up we have Sparta Rotterdam against Ajax. Oh yeah, it's a crunch one, this one. They've played each other 108 times. 23 victories for Sparta, 64 for Ajax, and 21 draws. The last 6 seasons, 6 out of 6 for Ajax, home and away. In fact, the last 6 times that these two sides played in Sparta as hosts. The only blip was back in 2009 in a 0-0 draw. The rest were all heavy wins for Ajax. Of course, they are red hot favourites, of course. Van der Beek is gone. He's gone out of the woods now. They brought in the likes of Skelkenberg from Everton, Mohamed Kudus from Noord-Jutland, and Anthony from Sao Paulo. Ryan Babel's gone back to Galatasaray. Hakim Ziyech has gone to Chelsea. Joel Wittmann's gone to Brighton. Bruno Varela's gone to Benfica, or returned to Benfica, so to speak. How about Sparta? What they've been doing? They brought in Leonard Thij from Zwolle. They brought in Benjamin van Leer from Ajax. Thomas Bjunginch from Den Haag. Yeah, all the familiar names to you and I. Yeah. Going to go with Ajax. Of course I am. I've given them a little bit of a wobble. Sparta to take at least the goal off of them as they kickstart their season. Of course, they've been in action already in the Champions League. Next up, Groningen. FC Groningen taking on PSV. This was a crunch clash as well. Of course, the returning Iron Robin is in action on this bad boy. PSV will be up there with the big bad boys. PSV, these two sides played each other 108 times, 20 victories for Groningen, 63 for PSV, and 25 draws. The last 6, so 0 wins for Groningen, 4 for PSV, and 2 draws. Groningen have actually lost their last 3 matches, whereas PSV have actually won their last 3 away matches. The last time these two sides locked horns was back in March 2020. That was PSV victory, 1-0 win, Denzel Dumfries in the end. You got to go all the way back. When do we go back? All the way back. I don't know. I don't even know when. I can't even see the last time Groningen picked up a victory on this one. Of course, Robin is here. Iron Robin picking up the strings for these bad boys. There he is. Kuka Ikakaru has also been brought in from Manchester City, the defender. Wansel Dammels from Fortuna Sittard as well. Meanwhile, what about PSV? What have they been up to transfer-wise? A little scan. They brought in hang on a minute. Maybe I gave you bad gen earlier. I must have given you PSV signings instead of Feyenoord signings. You know what I mean. Anyway, PSV. We'll lose this one. I'm going to give it to Robin. I'm going to give it to Iron Robin. The Iron Robin effect, home form and all that, caused a bit of a rat amongst the pigeons and all that kind of stuff. So Groningen upset the apple cart in my eyes. The Iron Robin Meister will lead the charge for a successful season for them. Next up, and finally, should I say, RKC Waalwijk taking on Vitesse Arnhem. These two sides have played. Where are you? Waalwijk, Vitesse Arnhem. Now, these two sides have played 51 times, 10 victories for Waalwijk. Flipping 24 victories for Vitesse Arnhem and 17 draws. The last 6 between these two sides, 2 wins for Waalwijk, 3 wins for Vitesse Arnhem, and 1 draw. The last time they played each other was back in September in Waalwijk, and it was a 2-1 win for Vitesse Arnhem. Nufio Dicko on the score sheet. Osamaya Tendani as well from the penalty spot. Clint Leemans getting Waalwijk a goal. Julian Leveland getting himself sent off. The bookmakers' odds on this one, Waalwijk are your favourites to go down, 1,000 to 1. Vitesse Arnhem are one of your favourites to compete at the top of the table, 50 to 1 long shots. Bookies. Transfers, Waalwijk bringing the likes of Thierry Latunda from Anderlecht on loan. James Imaforfis from Almere City is a Greek fella. A couple of other players as well. Meanwhile, Vitesse Arnhem, what have they done this summer? Jacob Rammerson is coming in from Fiorentina. Maximilian Wittig is coming in from Greuther Fürth, and Amadando Borja from Chelsea. And they've lost a whole bunch of players, including Brian Linson to Feyenoord and some other guys. Some other troops have going on in the movie. It's quite complicated to read all this bad boy. Anyway, going to go with Vitesse Arnhem, opening day victory for me. And that, my friends, is what I think will happen in the old Eredivisie Matchday 1, day 1. Yes, and I want to tell you all now, I'm recording this well ahead of schedule. Of course, this is the 2nd of September. We're going away for the few days, so I won't be back in time to get these on the thing. So I had to record them now. Otherwise, you'd have me on the road doing it, and it would be terrible. Absolutely terrible. Anyway, this is what I think will happen. And again, if it all works out, this is what the table will look like at the end of match day number 1. Feyenoord lead the way. Ajax will be second. AZ Alkmaar and Vitesse Arnhem up top. FC Twente up there as well. PSV having a little bit of a wobble. That's right. That's just me. That's what I think will happen. Be sure to get your own predictions in nice and early down the bottom, because we have the prediction league, boys and girls. Will you be the number 1 Eredivisie predictor? Of course, will you be the number 1 predictor behind this guy? Because I'm going to be leading the charge. That's right, from the get-go. That's it, my friends. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that thumbs up. And of course, if you are new, bang the old subscribe button. Keep your bang up to date with all things Eredivisie related, Blackburn Rovers related, World Football related. Let's get it started, boys and girls. Of course, check out the description. Links to my other social media platforms are in there: Twitter, Facebook, and of course, Patreon if you want to support the channel in another way. That's the way to do it. I'm getting ready. Hopefully you are too. It's going to be a crazy old week next week, or this week, whenever this video goes live. It's going to be mental, chicken oriental. Let's get it on, and I'll see you all next time around.